We left off 216. Okay, just as we're holding 216 top paragraph. The Gemara says in Avodah Zarah, we had this. The Gemara speaks about Hashem's schedule. What does God do every day? What does He do? So it says, the first 3 hours of the day, Yoshev Elomi Torah. God studies Torah. First 3 hours a day. Second 3 hours a day, what does He do? Yoshev Adonis Olam. He judges the world. Second 3 hours a day. Therefore, what does He do? Third 3 hours a day, He sustains all existence. Mikarne Re'imim Abetzekinim. From the largest creature to almost the microscopic creature. He's Beitzekinim. Okay? Whose God doesn't daven? What do God praise? What? What does that do with davening? He always wears tefillin, whatever that means. Tefillin has nothing with davening. You put on tefillin. The obligation with tefillin is that tefillah. It's different. No. Okay. Okay. What does it do? The four three hours of the day. Yoshev Elomin Imtinoka Shabeis Rabban. He sits and studies with small children. So Rashi says that children who pass away before Bar Mitzvah, he studies Torah with their neshamas. That's what he does. 3 hours a day. Okay. So God sustains existence. Karnei Re'imim. Re'im was the Gemara speaks in Zochim. You know, there were two things that didn't go into the teva. Ogmel Chaboshan did not. He was too large, didn't fit into the teva, into the ark, and the Re'im. Re'im was a creature which was so large, it did not fit into the ark. Every other living creature that had to go in entered, but the Re'im and Ogmel Chaboshan, they were the two that were outside of the ark, of the teva. I'm just telling what the Gemara says, okay? We'll replay the tape. 1956, Torah Das, Williamsburg, the old building. Okay. Shiva Brooklyn. Okay, we're not holding there. Okay? So that's what it is. So Hashem occupied. Do you know how many creatures and species there are in existence? Gemara says in, also, Gemara says in Avodah Zarah, it says, Noach originally was supposed to be the Kohen. When he came out of the teva, who brought the sacrifices? Shem. Shem his son. Why not Noach? So it says because he was what? He was a balmum. Because he had a physical handicap. What was the physical? Why? Because he delayed feeding the lion either bit him or pawed him, and he was a balmum. So he wasn't qualified to do the avodah. Understand? Do you know what it means to feed every species, endless species? Noach and his children, for 12 months, were occupied every moment of their existence, feeding. It was endless. That's what they were doing. So it's interesting. What they were doing for 12 months, HaKadosh Baruch Hu does continuously throughout existence. Every species has to be nourished, has to be sustained. And every species has another diet or other needs, whatever the species may be. They didn't have to clean up because the way the table was built, there were holes in the floor. The waste would drop to the lowest level, the Gemara says. Okay, it was three levels. The humans were on top level. The animals, all living creatures, were on the second level. The waste was on the lower level. So there are two Medrashim. We had one last week. That's one answer. So she says, what's the big deal to do shidduchim? So she took her slaves, the men and women, they put them together. You see what they look like the next day. The emergency room was filled the next day. Okay. He says the sustenance that is very specific for all living creatures. Robo mispor. They're too numerous even to compute. It's amazing. You have to go to one of these, what's it called? These Cinemaxes, they have the screen 6 stories, and down in Washington, wherever you see it, and they show you how the insects, how they feed on a leaf in Africa somewhere, and then how one insect swallows the next insect, and how this maintains the ecology. It's just it's unbelievable. It's amazing, and a person will talk about it forever, at least for the next few weeks, what he saw there. And here, he's telling, if you reflect on the Bria, just this aspect, what HaKadosh Baruch Hu does, what he provides, and its continuous involvement. Kashi yizbonin behem v'yoven sibosam. He says, Achocham. Hear this, you have to be a wise man. Achocham kashi yizbonin. When the wise man reflects on this, v'yoven sibosam. Yake chochmas v'achshev sabor yisale behem. He will recognize the wisdom of the Creator regarding them. He says in Ashrei, here, they all look to you to give their food in due season. In its time. You give to them, they will gather it in. Tiftach yodcho. When you open your hand, Yispun Tov, they will sate it with goodness, with good. If you take a look in the art scroll, there's an asterisk on Poseches Yodecho. You ever look what it says on the bottom? I don't know what pages the Mishaberach. I couldn't announce it. You have to have special concentration on that. And it's cited in Mishaberach. If you don't say with Kavanah, you should repeat it. Because if you focus on that, have proper intent, that actually activates forces that Hashem should provide for humanity. What is it? It's a recognition that things don't happen by themselves. We have such a phenomenal crop. We have all this kind of engineering today, and this and that, and so we're able to produce 1 acre, which can only produce so many bushels. Today can produce 1,000-fold what it used to produce. Genetic engineering, that's what it's all about. That's what it's about. HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't. And what about the blight? What about everything? What about the process? Everything else? And how did you come upon genetic engineering? And that says, people don't, that far back they don't go. It's like, the Big Bang Theory. But they haven't figured out what caused the Big Bang. That far back they don't go. To be continued. What?